Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. Alright you guys, I am so excited. I just got home from work and guess what just came in the mail? The new Pat McGrath Divine Blush Duos. I'm so excited to see how these blush duos perform on my 30 plus oily dehydrated acne prone skin. So if you're excited to get started and enjoy the video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and let's get started right now. Now I did purchase both of these blushes myself and I'm actually really excited because I've never tried any of Pat McGrath's blushes. So let's first go over a couple of quick details about these new blush duos. Now these blushes are actually made in Italy, which is exciting. They do retail for $44 US and you get 9.7 grams or 0.34 ounces. Now these blushes are a little bit different from the original Divine blushes, and that's because these have two different shades in one compact. Now as far as the packaging goes, it looks pretty similar to her original Mothership palettes with the shiny black packaging. Now one major difference that I am noticing right off the bat, and I would imagine it's probably because these blushes don't have quite as much product as the eyeshadow palettes, but the Mothership palette, it feels very heavy and luxe in the hand, whereas these blushes feel pretty light. Now, one of the things that bothers me about the packaging of these blushes, so not only is it a little bit lighter than the Motherships, but how you open these can be a little bit difficult. So it appears like there's a push button right here, but it can be a little bit difficult to push. And then upon opening, you have a mirror on the opposite side of the product. Now, the first shade I picked up on my left here is called Venusian Sunrise. This has a beautiful lilac hue opposite of a nice cool pink. And the shade on my right is called Paradise Glow. This is like a nice mauve brown. I thought this would be a great shade to test out as a bronzer. So here's a close-up shot of the two different shades. Alright, next it is swatch time. So the first two swatches are Venusian Sunrise and the next two swatches are Paradise Glow. You guys, these felt so silky when I was doing the swatches. Now what I am noticing is there are two different finishes. So Venusian Sunrise looks like it is an all matte palette on both of the shades, whereas on Paradise Glow, the more deep brown mauve appears to be a matte, and then the lighter brown has a little bit of a sheen to it. Now you probably noticed that Pat McGrath also dropped new highlighters. Yes, I did pick up a shade to review for you guys. Now, I don't have that highlighter quite yet. So I'm not sure if I'm going to wait until I receive that highlighter to upload this video. But as of now, at the time of filming, I just wanted to get the blush shades up for you. Alright, hair is pulled back, so let's first dip into the shade Paradise Glow. I just put my bangs back, that way we can test the shade out as a bronzer. So I'm going to dip my Wayne Goss brush kind of into both of the shades here. Tap off. All right, let's start blending. Now, the one thing I do have to say is that when you look at the swatches of these blushes on Pat McGrath's website, this shade Paradise Glow, it looked very, very brown in the pictures, but in person, it definitely does have more of a mauve kind of pinky finish to it. So just wanted to mention that it's not quite as brown as it appeared in the pictures. I'm hoping that this shade will work well for that kind of natural sunlit lit from within glow. So hoping it works out even though it's not quite as brown in person. I do like the combination of having one darker shade and one lighter shade. That way you can really customize these blushes. I quite like it because it has almost that mauve orange undertone to it, so it's not just a straight brown color. You know, I initially was disappointed when I saw that, but now that it is blended out on the skin, I think it works really well as a bronzer for someone like me who has a fair to light cool undertone. Alright, let's dip back into both sides, that way we can test this out as a bronzer on the cheekbones. You guys, it is 90 degrees today. It literally went from, I think low 50s, maybe even 60s, but to almost 100 today. So it is so hot. I'm pretty surprised my makeup hasn't melted off yet. All right, that is absolutely beautiful. So what I want to do is the same thing I did on the forehead and dip back into the lighter shade. I really like that I can almost lighten the shade up too, just because I am so fair, of course. So it's really nice to have two shades. All right, I think that warmed up the skin quite nicely. So no blush, blush. All right, let's do the same thing on the other cheek. I think it's about to thunderstorm. Can you guys just sense when a thunderstorm is about to come on? Everything kind of starts to look dark, but anyways. All right, I am loving this shade as a bronzer. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too deep for my skin tone, and I do feel like if I only went in with this shade right here, it perhaps would be, but combining the lighter shade on top, just feel like these melt so seamlessly into the skin, and the shade is wonderful. All right, what do you guys think about Paradise Glow as a bronzer? All right, Paradise Glow is absolutely stunning. Now let's dip into Venusian Sunrise. Now this shade was literally made for me, and that's because one, I typically prefer cool tones, but lilacs in particular paired with a light cool pink, oh my gosh, this one just screamed my name. So I'm thinking let's kind of do an ombre blush effect. So first I'm going to dip into the more lilac side. Whew, that is a lot of pigment, and this is a Sonia G Lotus Detail. So I'm assuming this lilac shade will be just a little bit more brightening than the cool pink, so that's why I wanted to pop that more on the apples. All right, going in with a light hand. We can always build up, of course. Oh, this is beautiful. I just love lilac and purple blush, you guys. As I said before, just feel like this color was made for me. All right, I'm going to build this up much more than I typically would wear, and I don't care because I just love this shade so much. All right, what do you guys think about the purple in Venusian Sunrise? All right, next let's dip into the cool pink, I believe is how it is described. These have a lot of pigment. I mean, I barely dipped my brush in, so definitely tap your brush off if you don't want to go in with too much product. I'm gonna focus this more on kind of the temples leading down into the cheeks. All right, get the pink on the other side here. I really want that purple or lilac to kind of pop a little bit more. I did go in with a pretty light hand, so we are applying way too much blush, and I don't care. Once again, pop a little bit on the nose. I like kind of sweeping it and gently dabbing across the skin. I just feel like it really pulls everything together by bringing it in just a little bit more. All right, so I feel like both of these blush shades are absolutely stunning. Now, as I mentioned, I don't have the highlighters yet, but just to kind of finish everything off, I do have a couple of Pat McGrath highlighters as well as a lipstick. I really wish you guys were sitting here with me right now because I'm trying to decide which highlighter to go in with. All right, let's just do this. So this is the shade Lunar Nude. This is one of the most stunning highlighters I've ever used, and it is that gel-like finish made also in Italy, I believe. So let's dip in with my Wayne Goss brush. I cannot wait to get the new highlighter in my hands, you guys. I picked up the fairest shade. I feel like it also had Lunar in the name, but I can't quite remember. Lunar Nude is just absolutely stunning. If you have not tested out any of these highlighters, I would definitely recommend this shade Lunar Nude. It really gives that wet glass skin effect. All right, so because this highlighter, it's not too deep for my skin tone, but it's almost there. So just to lighten up the highlighter, let's next go in with Incandescent Gold 002. So I actually like to use Incandescent Gold 002 almost as a highlighter topper, just because it is a little bit lighter than Lunar Nude. Not by a ton, but enough to give it that extra pop. See what I mean? It just catches the light so beautifully. Never in my life did I think that I would enjoy a warm gold highlighter but there's just something about the depth of this shade, and it's perfect when you have a little bit of a tan going on. All right, now that I have a ton of highlighter and blush going on, I'm gonna take a little bit of incandescent gold down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow. All right, let me add a little bit of lipstick and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I actually decided to go in with a new lipstick from Pat McGrath that I have not tried yet. So this red is called Elson 2. I swear I'm going to be buried in a red lipstick. I don't know, there is just something about a red lip. I feel like it can just take any look from a 0 to a 10 very quickly. So here is what the shade Elson 2 looks like swatched out, in case you were wondering. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this Elson 2 shade is just your perfect everyday red. And yes, I would wear this lipstick every day if I had the time to apply it. All right, enough about the lipstick, which I do love, I might add. Let's talk about these new Divine Blush Duos. You guys, these blushes were everything I could imagine and more. Now, I personally get more excited about highlighter, base products, things like that. But these blushes got me really excited to apply to the skin. So let me move my hair out of the way, that way you can actually see what my skin is looking like now that the whole look is complete. This formula, you guys, you know, you can talk all day and be super specific, but at the end of the day, this is just a phenomenal formula. The blushes apply so effortlessly, they feel very silky on the skin, they don't emphasize any texture, they're buildable. I just can't say enough good things about them. You know, my only complaint about these blushes is that they are unfortunately limited edition. But you never know, maybe they will sell well and she will end up adding them to her collection. So I'm super happy I decided to pick these up and test them out. They were everything I could imagine. Yes, I'm talking about these blushes like they are just to die for, but they really did surpass my expectations. Well, let me know down below, did you pick up any of these blushes? If you did, what is your skin type? Did you enjoy them? Did you decide to pass on these blushes? Let us know all of your thoughts down below. Alright, you guys, well, I really do hope you enjoyed the review of these new Pat McGrath Divine Blush Duos. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys!